Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to see you. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I always say this is the home for intelligent Black people, but just so you know, you ain't got to be Black to be here. You just got to be smart. You got to want something better for yourself. You got to want your family to succeed and excel and to win. So if you are in that category, if you are if you are feeling extra strong and extra smart, you also have my permission to feel extra Black. So it's all right to do a little Rachel Dolezal up in here. So because I know some of y'all are not Black and we love you too. All right. Well, anyway, with that being said, I sent you all a message today. Some of you saw it. Some of you came in because you got it. And I mentioned a massive profit alert, right? So this is bigger. This is bigger than I mean, don't get me wrong. I always want you to have money. I always want you to be rich. I want you to succeed. And we've talked about that, right? A lot of you are succeeding right now. You're killing it on the crypto. Maybe you're killing it on some of these stocks that we've talked about in the stock options program. Maybe you're killing it on the AI technology stocks that we talked about. And as much as I want to say that it's due to some sort of extraordinary genius that we have, I have to be honest and say, as a financial researcher, which is what I did when I was on the faculty at Syracuse, that truth be told, you really can't predict what an individual stock is going to do. As much as I want to say, oh yeah, I just know everything, that's not true. And sometimes you're just wrong. And that's why I always remind you guys that this is not investing advice. This is me telling you what I'm seeing and what I'm doing for my family. And y'all know I'm going to make sure my family good. And I want your family to be good. Okay. So just make sure we understand this is not investing advice. But let me tell you why I sent out the bat signal. There is a big opportunity right now as it pertains to investing in a specific kind of real estate. There are two major types of real estate that are expected to explode. This is more of a 5 to 10, 20 year kind of play. This is generational wealth that we're talking about. This is long-term investing. The two areas of real estate that are expected to just really blow up and go crazy are in two areas. One is in AI data centers. AI is exploding. AI is massive. They're going to need a lot of real estate for these data centers. They're going to need a lot of energy for the data centers. I've given you guys lists of stocks in these areas to help you benefit from the AI revolution. I said, in fact, if you haven't, if you text the word money to the number 87948, you'll start getting text messages with information in it that will help get you up to speed in case you're new. So text money to the number 87948. And all that stuff will come to you automatically, and you'll get a chance to kind of see what we've been talking about for a long time. It's okay to be late. We love you too. Now, here's another area that we haven't discussed as much that just really got me going and made me say, oh, crap, we got to talk about this. People are getting old. Americans are getting old, really, really old. And as Americans are getting old, there's this amazing, shocking discovery that old people have to find somewhere to live. And these are called senior centers. And unbeknownst to me, up until maybe I kind of had seen some stuff about it, but I went through did some deep diving on it. And you have no idea how America is going to shift and change in the next 20 or 30 years. The demographics are just phenomenal. In fact, let me give you a couple quick stats on it just to help you understand what you're looking at right now with an aging population in America. Number one, we are within the next decade or so going to have the largest wealth transfer in American history. And it's not generation to generation. It's not from the boomers to Gen X, which is my generation. We ain't getting the money. It's actually going from husbands to wives first. Because men, we don't, you know how we are. We don't go to the doctor until stuff starts falling off. And so the men die. All that money goes to their wives. So women are going to get super rich. So, if you see a smart Black woman, just be nice to her because she could be loaded. This is the trend. This is what's happening right now. The second piece of that, don't be out here just exploiting nobody, though. Don't be doing that. My friend has a term for it. She calls them hobosexuals. The hobosexuals are men that go around pleasuring women and keeping them company so they can get access to that bread. And apparently that's an epidemic. I knew a sister. This is a goofy side story, but I knew a sister who was making good money. She was one of those high-flying, hardworking, highly educated Black women, went to Harvard and everything, making $300,000 a year. and she met this guy, and she didn't know. I guess he didn't know that she goes through her credit card statements, and apparently he'd taken her credit card and bought these expensive shoes that were not even her size. So she went into Inspector Gadget mode. So she did a whole CSI investigation and basically found out that this guy was, going to these places and spending this money on these other women. Don't do that type of stuff. That's not cool. And don't date people like that either. Anyway, that's a side note. Let me see that y'all. That's my ADHD kicking in. I have to apologize in advance. Let's keep going. So here's the deal. Basically, you have a massive wealth transfer from men to women, and then it's going to go from the mothers to the children. It's going to go to the Gen Xers. I'm Gen X. And I told you my parents are older. Not that I would definitely not trade my parents for money ever, right? I wish they could live 150 years, but unfortunately that drug has not been invented yet. Maybe Elon Musk will invent that for himself, since these billionaires tend to take care of each other first. But right now it's not in existence. So as they get older, then the money gets passed to Gen X. So this is big. This is a multi-trillion-dollar power shift that's happening right now. Second thing you should know, and by the way, if you stick around to the end, I'll give you a stock that I bought that will allow you to benefit from this trend. Second of all, there's another study here from the Harvard Joint Center of Housing Studies that says the population age 65 and over increased by 34% from 43 million in 2012 to 58 million in 2022. The trend is expected to continue. And so by 2050, over 20% of the U.S. population will be over the age of 65. But this is going to kick in sooner. It's going to kick in the 2020s and in the 2030s, because the boomers are hitting that retirement age. Second of all, there's an increase, a massive, and this is where you come into play in terms of your investing. There is a surge in the older adult population that is driving housing demand that accommodates their needs. They said occupancy rates in senior living communities have reached 85.1% in a lot of primary markets, which is approaching pre-pandemic levels, 85.1%, which means they're almost all the way full, almost at capacity. They're going to run out of capacity. There's not a sufficient amount of senior housing to accommodate the rise in the number of older people. Here's another one from the Census Bureau. Only 10% of U.S. homes even have the features that are needed to accommodate older residents, which highlights the gap in the market for senior-friendly housing solutions. Does that make now tell me if you understand where we're going, where this is. I don't want to talk too fast. When I get excited, I talk real fast. I don't know, again, the ADHD, or maybe I'm like a puppy or something. My sister used to have a dog, and when you came in, he'd get real excited, and he'd be like, pee on your leg. I'm not going to pee on your leg, but sometimes I talk fast. So hopefully me talking fast is not as bad as pee. But do you get what I'm saying? Do you follow? Is this making sense? Is this all adding up? I'm building a case here like a lawyer. Do you guys get it? Okay. All right. Give me a yes. All right. Give me a yes in the chat. Let me know I'm not going too fast. Okay. So anyway, guys. So as we move forward, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe, if you haven't done it yet. And also, if you want to get profit alerts and stuff like that, you can try texting the word stock to 87948, and I'll send you a list of my favorite AI stocks. And also, if you want to, I did a weekend event where I did a sort of an 11-step process for picking stocks for your portfolio. You can find that at thedrboycemethod.com. That's thedrboycemethod.com. So here is a company that I believe will be able to benefit from this trend, and that company is called Welltower. Welltower Inc. Welltower has the ticker symbol WELL, like well, right? So Welltower is a company that is deeply invested in all of this. When you look at Welltower, you will find that this company, not only do they do real estate, but they focus specifically on a lot of these senior centers that are going to be needed in the future. And from the research that I've done, Welltower is well positioned to benefit from this trend. It's basically a real estate company that's focused on two main areas: healthcare and senior living sectors. They invest in senior living communities for independent living, assisted living, memory care facilities. They do post-acute care and skilled nursing. So they own properties that provide rehabilitation and nursing services. They own a lot of medical office buildings and healthcare related office spaces. They partner with healthcare providers to provide real estate solutions aligned with medical services. They also have a business model that generates money by leasing properties to healthcare operators and senior housing providers. So, based on my research, and this is not investing advice, Welltower might be a place to put some money if you want to benefit from this trend. It's almost like Bitcoin. Remember, I was telling you guys for about 9 years now that most indicators told me that Bitcoin was on the rise. I can also tell you in 2024, most indicators are telling me that Bitcoin's on the rise. I will probably be telling you in 2027 that most indicators tell me that Bitcoin's on the rise. So when I say that, that does not mean I know for sure, but that tells me that I don't see any reason to believe that Bitcoin's going to go down anytime soon. So if you're ever wondering, did I miss out? Gosh, Bitcoin's 100,000 now. Did I miss? No, you can still invest. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Eventually, in fact, my good friend, Tall Guy Tycoon, he's a great guy. He does a lot of crypto stuff. He has a lot of respect. I saw him in Invest Fest. He came by our event in LA. We did a stock option summit. I love this guy. He actually was referring to the fact that pretty soon they're going to start chopping the Bitcoins up into these things called Satoshis, which are much, much smaller. I can't remember if it's like a millionth of a Bitcoin or something like that. But anyway, pretty soon people won't buy. At some point, there'll be markets not for Bitcoin, but for Satoshis, so that you're not so intimidated by the $100,000 number. The $100,000 number should mean nothing to you. Like if you got $20, you can still buy Bitcoin, and stop thinking like, oh, if I buy the 20 cent crypto, I can get more units. None of that matters. None of that matters. It's just getting in the game. Okay. And so these cryptos are going crazy. I don't know when it's going to stop. There will probably be a crash. I have to give you that bad news too. But the good news is bad news, and the bad news is good news. The bad news becomes good news because crashes are when you can buy the dip. Let me tell you like this. When the dips happen, I'm buying dips. I need to get a T-shirt that says "I buy all dips." Maybe I should make that shirt or so. But literally, I'm buying the dip because that's when the money gets made. So don't fear the dip. Embrace the dip. Don't run away from the dip. Run toward the dip. Don't duck and dodge the dip. Dive into the dip. Okay, and it doesn't always work every single time. I'm not telling you that investing does always involve risk. But you gotta shift your mindset and jump into those dips and see those as opportunities for you to build that wealth. All right. So let's go build some generational wealth. Let's go get it done. And one other little thing about this whole thing. So by the way, if you came in late, the stock that I mentioned is Welltower. The ticker symbol was WELL. If somebody asked for it in the chat, if you could just put it in there for them when they ask for it, because somebody always comes in and says, "Well, what's the stock? I missed it." So y'all, if y'all could hook me up with that, I'd appreciate that. And also another reminder, I want to let you guys know this podcast. I have a podcast on Spotify called Dr. Boyce Daily Stock Market. I can't always update it every single day, but I update it as much as I can, where I tell you guys about trends that I see in the stock market. So you go to Spotify, look up my name, you'll find me there. And if you can tolerate me and the fact that I talk a little bit too fast when I get excited, or sometimes I piss people off, then I think I can help you to guide your way to wealth. There is money out there. I've studied money extensively at a doctoral level for many, many years. And in fact, the PhD is way behind me. Like the PhDs, that's 20 something years ago. Now I'm like way beyond that. Right. So ultimately what I'm saying to you is that there are opportunities out there, and I don't want you to get misled by people that don't know what they're talking about. But just understand, with investing, you're not going to do everything right. You're going to make mistakes. Sometimes you might lose a little bit of money, but long term in this society, in this country, people who invest do far better than people who do not invest. That is a clear, unequivocal fact. There is no way around that. You can't work your way to wealth. You can't save your way to wealth. You have to invest in something. So anyway, and speaking of that, Christmas is coming. Get your kids something other than toys, please. Don't just buy the toys. Don't mess up Christmas for the babies, but get them some stock and buy stock for them regularly. If you buy stock for the kids regularly, if you can do it every month, if you can be as committed to your kids as you are to paying your cell phone bill, then your children will be financially fine by the time they get in their 20s. If you can be as committed to your child and your family's future as you are to paying the car note, then your family will be fine financially. If you can be as committed to your kids as you are to paying the landlord and making his kids rich, then your kids will be financially fine. I've done all the math for you. Did y'all know, I mentioned this in class the other day. I got to keep saying this because it blew my mind. If your grandma had bought you like $100 worth of Apple stock 30 years ago when a lot of you were babies, do you know that you would have like literally like hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank right now? I'm not kidding. Apple stock is $213. It used to cost at that time, 30 years ago, it was 25 cents on sort of a split adjusted basis. 25 cents. So grandma could have bought you $100 worth of Apple stock and done nothing else for you, and literally you'd be set pretty good. You'd be in a really comfortable financial situation, better than most Americans. So it's the little stuff that I want you to focus on before you get to the big stuff. Don't get overwhelmed by the big stuff. Just do the little stuff, and then we can talk about the big stuff later. I've seen the big stuff. I know what it looks like, and we can do that too. All right. So anyway, we do have a lot of resources in the Black Business School. If you want us to help you educate your kids, feel free to text the word youth to the number 87948, and we will send you information on our Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program for kids and all the things that we have in place to educate children. We have thousands of kids that are like at this, like they literally have a financial literacy level that's higher than 90% of all adults. So feel free to text the word youth to the phone number 87948, and you'll get some information immediately and decide if you want to participate and stuff like that. I believe that if those folks can educate your kids, we can educate our own kids better. So that's my belief. That's where I get a little bit radical, because I'm tired of our kids not getting educated properly. We got experts that can do that, like Miss Asada and people like that. So anyway, have a good day, everybody. God bless you. Thanks for hanging out. I'll send you notifications later on as I come back. I'm about to go to the movies with my auntie today. So so have a good day, everybody. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.